Glad to know you're still with us. We're back from the recess, and of course, this is the People's Parliament coming to you live on Planet Radio 101.1 FM. We kick start with taking some calls from parliamentarians. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the People's Parliament.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Mr. Speaker, my name is Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Mr. Speaker, today I was very surprised to hear all culture from information of the that no money to pick a teacher. I was very surprised to hear that.
Hello, parliamentarian. Hello.
Yes.
Okay, please, network providers, be very kind to us this morning so parliamentarians can make their contributions onto what we have on the floor of the House. Parliamentarian Ohaji Henry says, Buhari giving order now. What has he been doing all this while politicians have their children studying abroad? That is why they are less concerned about the educational sector. I am Pastor Henry Ohaji from Aba. Thanks for joining us. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Speaker.
Please, can you speak up? We can barely hear you.
Okay, this is converge. I just in the studio.
Welcome.
Hello.
Go ahead, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. Please, I want to comment on the issue of retired primary school teachers. I think the government is not really fair with them because they do not look at these people that have worked for good 35 years and up to now they have not been able to pay their due wages. I think it's very, very wrong, and we call ourselves a God-fearing state. I think I will also plead with the state government. They should try to pay these people off because it's not really, really nice. Thank you very much. I still remain under a child. Thank you.
Thank you very much, parliamentarian. And parliamentarian Udememaga Ebu says, People's Parliament, Mr. Speaker, there's a difference between approval and payment. We've been hearing of approval of payment for a very long time now. Payment of gratuity is the right of the retirees, and it is the responsibility of government to pay them. How much is the government approving? Which year are they commencing the payment? When are they starting the payment? The secrecy in Governor Odom's led administration is annoying and unfortunate. Thank you. Parliamentarian Henry West says, good morning, Mr. Speaker. Okay, I'll have to pause there, come back to your comments. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Speaker.
Good morning, parliamentarian.
Yeah, I'm calling with Sister Robbie. I'm calling from you. I think Mr. President has given 2 weeks for Minister of Education and Minister for Labor and Productivity to iron out the issue of ASUU. It's now that it's serious because when you say enough is enough, people were wondering what has he done. I'm hoping that ASUU would just shift their ground a little to the left, a little to the right, so that the gates of this would open again for our children because it's over 5 months now. Children have not gone to school. It is not good. Coming to Akwa Ibom State, I think what we read in the newspaper is getting to go on issue of our preferred candidate and certificate issue. I don't see the reason why somebody should hire 6 sons and other lawyers to defend a certificate that you have kept somewhere. When they say, where is your certificate? You present it. He doesn't know what that. When you hire a son to defend something, or lawyers, it may therefore mean the skeleton is covered. We hope that this issue would be resolved so that Akwa would move forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, parliamentarian. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the People's Parliament.
Hello, good morning, People's Parliament.
Good morning, parliamentarian.
Good morning, guests in the house. Quickly, my name is John Win, calling from Biakoran here.
Go ahead.
The case of teachers in Akwa Ibom, and the way retired teachers are being treated is not good. It is a very shameful thing. Having experienced this incident happening right to our fellow a good human being. It is very sad upon the cries and that the people are lamenting. The state government does not reckon to it. It is a very shameful thing. These people should be treated. In fact, it is not good. Out of 34 million, whether 34 billion or so, the state government has decided to give 1 billion. It is not good. How many people will consume the 1 billion? It is not good. It seems the state government, even the whole federation, look at the case of ASUU, how the federal government are treating innocent ASUU students and the teachers. It is not good. I think the state government and the federation, the leaders are not developing interest or much priority to education in Nigeria. Thank you. That's my.
Thank you very much, Parliamentarian. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the People's Parliament.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Speaker.
Good morning, Parliamentarian.
Yeah, this is Governor Young for Equator.
Go ahead, the floor is yours.
Mr. Speaker, I want to say that I want to applaud the President for giving that ultimatum. It's a good thing, and we appreciate it. And also, I want to plead with the leadership of ASUU to at least shift grounds. This thing must not be 100% done. I know that's one of the problems that the federal government has. Trying to implement 100% would be hard for government. Please, let them a little bit of ground so that this government can implement what they're asking for. Please, I plead with them so that our students should go back to school. Please. Thank you for having me, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much for joining us. And Parliamentarian Henry Uwa on a social media platform says, good morning, Mr. Speaker. Why is the President giving 2 weeks ultimatum for an issue that can be solved in 2 days? For 5 months now, there have been meetings upon meetings, negotiations, renegotiation, committee upon committees, from Ministry of Education to Ministry of Labor. Now that NLC has threatened a protest, there is a marching order. Has Nigeria suddenly become a barrack? Now, wow. Coming from Parliamentarian Henry Uwa. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the People's Parliament.
Good morning to you, Mr. Speaker.
Good morning once again.
My name is Odubi George. I'm calling from the Honorable.
Welcome to the plenary. The floor is yours.
Mr. Speaker, last week I heard that Governor Nyesom Wike and 3 other governors liberated their children that graduate in abroad. So I don't even think whether the government of that abroad used to treat their education status in this same way like Nigeria did. I don't know how they should go and celebrate their children in abroad for graduating in university over there, while our children are sitting at home today more than 7 months now. Now for primary school teachers, I mean, someone like me is a teacher that make me change my tongue to another language. Is a teacher that can make me write my name. Is a teacher that can make me to be exposed in education. So I don't joke with teachers. I wonder how the state government can joke with teachers. Why don't they pay them their gratuity and settle them? It's not fair. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us this morning. And Parliamentarian Hope Umar Jr. says, good morning, parliamentarians. Thank God he has decided to pay the gratuities. It's better late than not done, but I pray it won't be audio money. Mike Igini is really on his feet to do his job. I wish he will clearly tell us the parties or persons involved in this. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the People's Parliament.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker.
Good morning once again.
Mr. Speaker, yeah, let me commend the guests in the studio. Thank you. You are done so grateful. Mr. Speaker, federal government giving 2 weeks the marching order. Well, let us wait and see. And thank God that the Minister of Education, education, he has been sustaining, he has been, giving the way out so that the peace can reign. So I beg, let the lecturer, ASUU, comply. We want to go back to school because we are tired in the house. Then primary school teachers. You see, this thing is keeping it is like a bell ringing every hour now and then. You remember the other time, somebody, I don't want to mention his name, he said, hold me responsible if they not pay this. Do this one, do that one. At the end of the day, it's a foul play. So let government, let our state governor, know what is done. Because this thing, it gives me a bad record. I'm saying my own view. All this thing, it presents a bad record to him. Mike Egini, Mike Egini is done so much well, because if you follow the law, somebody bought a ticket, 2 tickets. He know the condition that this thing can land him in the jail. So it's not something that we shout on it. It's something we know. Even those politicians, they are aware of this crisis, but they still doing it because they just take masses as a I don't know what to name to call the way they just take us to be. They just take us to be. I don't know. Only God will help us. Sir. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. And yes, in case you're just tuning into the People's Parliament this morning, we have on the lead of the floor of the House, the Akwa Ibom State Governor Odom Emmanuel approves payment of gratuity to retired primary school teachers, and the state vows to clear the backlog. Akwa Ibom Resident Electoral Commissioner Mike Egini says politicians risk imprisonment over double forms porches, and ASUU reacts to President Buhari gives Education Minister Adamu orders 2 weeks ultimatum to end ASUU strike. We'll quickly jump into the second motion. The Resident Electoral Commissioner in Akwa Ibom State, Barrister Mike Egini, said it is an offense under the Electoral Act 2022 for politicians to obtain multiple nominations form. He spoke while granting an interview, and according to him, he said a person who signs a nomination paper or resolve from as a candidate in more than one constituency at the same election commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a maximum term of imprisonment for 2 years, and that is coming from Section 115D of the Electoral Act 2022. Now, by these implications, reports on the different media's source that the person of Senator Godswill Akpabio and Ahmed Lawant and other senators, including the person of Governor Benayade of Rivers State, who contested for the presidency and then has won the ticket, the senatorial ticket in his own constituency, stand liable by this particular law. But then this is Nigeria, and let me come to you, Mr. Victor.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the provision Mike Egini is actually hanging on is section 115 and subsection 1, which says a person who signs a nomination paper or result form as a candidate in more than one constituency at the same time commits an offense. That is what but what I want to make out from there is that I am not a lawyer, I am not in INEC, but what I do not understand, what Mike Egini did not make known to me as a layman, is a difference between aspirant and candidate. Because if he says that a candidate, the people in question, the people being mentioned, the politicians he made that references to, were yet aspirant at different time.
Yes.
They were not candidates at that time. So I think you will still have to come back on air.
Yes, we definitely
to re-educate us on the difference between aspirant and candidate.
You know, we've made several attempts to get Barrister Mike Egini, and each time he promises to show, something keeps popping up. We're hoping that we'll get to bring him to give us the true interpretation from INEC standpoint, whether or not or which of these persons are liable under the law, like he is rightly said. But then let's say let me come from this point. Barristers, Godswill Akpabio, former Minister of Niger Delta, is a barrister, and Ahmed Lawan has been in the chambers for a good number of years and understand the makings of the laws and the workings of the laws. Is it possible for somebody who knows that the laws that he has been instrumental to building, the laws that he has contributed to, is capable of sending him to prison? and then still goes ahead to take the actions that will make him culpable to being in prison?
Well, because we find lawmakers in prison, we find lawyers in prison, I wouldn't doubt the fact that, human being will, when you come face to face with the law, people would still want to meander their way through. And because of meandering their way through, if they don't go clean, they become victims. But since these are issues that, like I always say, the INEC at the national level have already asked candidates who are not pleased with their actions to go to court. So I don't even think it's necessary for Akwa Ibom State Rec to often come on air to start saying issues that already people have gone to court. So he should calm down and stop being a bit too physical with his management process.
Yes, go ahead.
In addition to that, what my brother have said, you see in Nigeria, the way we play politics in Nigeria is different from what is going on in outside the country. Because, there's a saying that our politicians, they believe that politics is their, should I say, something that they brought up with, and they want to remain in power till eternity. What am I trying to say? I think that they believe that what money cannot do, more money can do. That is why, because many of them, they are aware of all these laws. But coming down, what the problem that I'm having with Mike Igine is that, I know he's a lawyer, and he knows the rules and everything. But the problem is that, just remember when the issue of the APC came out in the state, and all this faction, and he made a statement saying that APC will not have a candidate. I think that statement was not proper, because it's just like someone maybe for example, I just go now and maybe I commit a sin, maybe I kill someone, then I knew that I knew the judgment that maybe I'm going to be hanged or I'm going to be sentenced today. But I will put a lawyer. That lawyer will not tell me that I'm going to die. So you understand what I'm trying to say? The thing need to follow due processes. But for my need to just say that, these people will not, it doesn't sound well. And I don't know that maybe I know that he's doing his job. But sometimes it makes the people of Akwa Ibom might to think otherwise. Maybe he's biased. Maybe there's a particular group that is playing drums for me. Because, even the PDP in the state, they also have an issue. But the way he's taking this one of these APs and other political parties, it doesn't sound well. And our politicians, they need to read the new electoral act, because that's another issue. That's another problem that we are having. They don't read all these things. Because I don't think when this issue of if you buy two forms that you have committed offense, I thought that maybe all these politicians, maybe they might have read all these things. I don't think all these issues that they...
The thing is even that if you talk about putting form, a lot of people will be disqualified. You go ahead and disqualify people like Peter Obi, who have moved to Labour Party, who signed nomination form from PDP.
For PDP.
You come to Akwa Ibom State, you disqualify people like John James who have moved to other party, and so many of them, because they have actually signed different nomination forms, and in this case from even different political parties. So I think what we really need is that the new electoral act, our politicians too should lessen their level of desperation, because there is also some level of desperation in the ongoing saga, where politicians, you can't be everything every time and all the time. There are some times you'll be, as long as you are alive, you can still come back to contest. So to stop controversy, we need to at least read the new electoral act. The electoral act is new. That's why we were urging the electoral act to be signed so many months back. By then,
so that we can understand.
At the point, a lot of people will become victim of this electoral act if care is not taken, and if issues are not properly handled. But my advice to Mike Igine is that in most of his analysis, he shouldn't be sounding like a judge. That you have a matter is in court. Don't sound like a judge. Don't come to live radio or live television to say this one is going to prison, this one is going to be, especially when those matters are pending. So that your action might not look as if you want to influence the judges. So those are the things. But those who have broken the law should face it. As an administrator, it should be less physical.
All right, thank you very much. I will quickly get back to talking to some parliamentarians. Hello, good morning.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, good morning.
Good morning, parliamentarian.
Yes, this is Valentine. I'm calling from you.
Go ahead.
Yes, I want to say the Guinea and what is happening with Laula One and Fabio should not be the case for INEC for now, because they are bringing in so many situations. If you can watch out and what they are doing, they are attacking it on APC. You cannot hear them mentioning Peter Obi. You cannot hear them mentioning you cannot even in the PDP, even back the office. You see the fault and the damage that they are putting over on everything. And you will see, it's not all those, the national identity is not there. It is only a Mike Guinea. And his problem is on APC. Look at our point of the state. They are now calling for content. But you see, he has demonstrated their capacity with. Look, go to the road. You see, they are black. You see, you vote for Bueno. I think these are the things that the kids should look at. You should come out and then some of these people that it is not yet time for campaign, that they should remove those things on the road. This is not proper. Go to everywhere in the world and say, this is our private campaign. It is not the right time. And then he is sitting down there, presenting the
I'm afraid I have to let you go. The audio quality is very bad and it's getting worse by the day. I have to let you go. Apologize. Please try and connect us back and we'll get to talk to you so you can finish your line of thoughts. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the People's Parliament.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and the guest in the studio.
Could you speak up, please? We can barely hear you.
My name is Good morning, Mr. Speaker, and the guest in the studio.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My take will be on the 1 billion naira utility governor. The question of the remand is proposing to pay the entire primary school teachers. I think it shouldn't be the thing to be announced on radio. Those people, they've worked for completely 5 years, and so many of them, they are very old. It shouldn't be a thing the governor, even if government should be coming on air. So the things that people will plan for them. It is the right of those people who struggle for many years to teach so many of the professors we are having today, senators we are having today. Even our governor, he was taught by a teacher. So I think we should have them in his heart, always and always to pay them their rights. Thank you. Aside from that, Mr. Speaker, I want to say something also about what is happening in Nigeria. I think until we decide to have a good democracy, a good government, a good administration in Nigeria, that's when we will do things the way we should do. They've spoiled everything in Nigeria, they've scattered everything in Nigeria, so much so that someone will buy 2 forms. I'm signing here, I'm signing that. And if they have money, they will play dirty games and he will cover up. Whereas others who have gotten the opportunity to be in that place to do what is right for the people, they don't have such opportunity. For instance, how could a particular party sell a force at the rate of 100 million naira? They want to deprive the youth of reaching anything in this, any place in this Nigeria. I mean,
all right, thank you very much, Parliamentarian. Parliamentarian Aniakan Sunday on a social media platform says that the People's Parliament, good morning, Mr. Speaker and other parliamentarians. Sir, in ASUU and federal government, I wish the order given by Mr. President to the Minister of Education will be adhered to, because for some time now we see or heard the President giving instructions to appointees and they don't carry out the instructions. So I plead with the Minister of Education to please carry out this one for the sake of the students, parents, and the nation at large, because the effect of the strike on education system and the nation is enormous already. For the Akwa Ibom State Governor, sir, it is a good move because it will go a long way to salvage the suffering with which those retired primary school teachers had experienced, and it will send a signal to the message that we don't just have a governor, but a governor that prioritizes the welfare and well-being of the citizens. And I say kudos to His Excellency on that. Mr. Speaker, on Barrister Mike Igini, I think with what played out in Osun State election last Saturday, Nigerians are beginning to have confidence on the new amended Electoral Act and INEC. And so any politician that have violated the law should be punished with the spelled out punishment that's due them, because we cannot continue manipulating Nigerians and the systems anymore. On that note, we take another short recess and head out to the BBC Pidgin News. When we come back, the People's Parliament will continue. It's still the People's Parliament coming to you live on Planet Radio, and it's the Wednesday plenary session. And it's been such an amazing deliberation already. And as we are gradually winding down on time, we'll take some more comments from a social media platform and then pick some more calls before coming to speak with the in-house parliamentarian. And parliamentarian Unwana Japheth says at the People's Parliament, good morning, Mr. Speaker, and the guests in the studio. My reaction this morning is on ASUU strike. I thank Buhari for giving the order for the strike to be called off. I plead with him to give this order with financial action, not mere words. I also commend Mr. Domi Manuel, Governor, for okaying the payment of gratuity for retired primary school teachers. Mike Igini has said politicians but 2 nomination form might be imprisoned. I need more clarity on this and why. Indeed, we all need clarity, and only Barrister Mike Igini would be able to do that, and so we'll try to reach him and ensure we bring him here so that we can get the clarity we need as parliamentarians. And parliamentarian Hobomore Jr. says that the People's Parliament, good morning parliamentarians, thank God he has decided to pay the gratuities. It's better late than not done. Parliamentarian Yesa Kwazem says the 2 weeks given by the president to end the strike is in order. Mr. Speaker, why is the clerk of the House, Didi Martins, calling your real name Frank Cizadet in a hard way this morning when reviewing newspaper instead of addressing you as Mr. Speaker? Is our office bigger than you? Okay, this is very instigating, but I have to address you right away. Kwazam, Didi Martin wasn't hard on me. My name is first and foremost Francis Adate. That is my identity. Every other title is temporary, and tomorrow another Mr. Speaker can be seated here. So don't pay too much sentiments to those things that are very much irrelevant. Thank you very much. And Parliamentarian Samuel Iwok says, good morning, Mr. Speaker. PMB should take over the process of proffering solution to the lingering and in-season ASUU strike by himself. Education being the bedrock to everyone's development, such sector should not be joked with. The entire education sector needs great attention. Mike Igini should take over the affairs of the National Assembly, the judiciary, the presidency, and the entire structure of INEC, since he is the all-knowing INEC International Resident Commissioner in Africa. Just so you know that currently many people in the state are lacking behind in terms of collection of registration of voters card, yet Mike Igini wouldn't talk about that, which is his core mandate and duty. It's like he wants to trend. Thus, he's looking for every little opportunity to publicize. This is coming from parliamentarian Samuel Iwok. Thank you for joining us this morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Madam Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I beg your pardon. Go ahead, the floor is yours.
This is Imam from Illinois, Madam Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I beg your pardon, not Madam Speaker. Go ahead.
This is Imam from Illinois. I want to talk about the issue of our Bible, because the more they are in politics, they are not some people they are there for one pocket. They are not here to benefit the interest of our power. I'm figuring right now I'm a PDP member and executive party, and they come from PDP to my PDP right now.
PDP will not win this Akwara State. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for joining us this morning. I wish we had a better audio clarity. A parliamentarian Bro John says the People's Parliament, if Governor Udom likes he pays gratuity or not, is his own cup of tea, simply because of the election is near, which shows how insensitive as so-called leaders are to the people. Yet unemployment is high, caused by lack of industrial growth, but prefers to build international worship center while the people are suffering in abject poverty. If Nigeria had strong institutions, by now corrupt politicians should have been arrested and prosecuted, as it is done in China base and other states. On Mikey Guinea, President Buhari decision. Okay, you missed out saying anything. You just mentioned Mikey Guinea's name. On President Buhari's decision on the 2 weeks ultimatum shows how insensitive our leaders are. Is it that President Buhari was not aware before taking such drastic situation? Leaves a question mark in his administration, where Ngige should have been sacked rather than handing him off some situations. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the People's Parliament. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Speaker.
Good morning, parliamentarian.
Yeah, good morning to Obong and his colleague in the studio.
Yeah, greetings.
Good morning.
This is right, Comrade Prince Afanite. Obong, I don't know why you attacked back again today, you and your colleagues. What back again is what we call voters education.
We are not attacking.
Yeah, okay, don't worry about that. What back again does is voters education, which is one of the basic tools in electoral process. So I kudos to Mark Guinea. We pray for him to sanitize Akwa State consciousness politically.
All right, let me pause you there and ask you a question, parliamentarian. Over the last 3 months that Barrister Mikey Guinea, the State Resident Electoral Commissioner, has been in the news, there has never been a time where he has spoken about the numbers of persons who have registered for the ongoing CVR in Akwa Ibom State, not the numbers of persons who have collected successfully their PVR. Is that not more important, or is that not also a very vital part of voter education that he should do in his office?
I think you cannot say that vital. Every education in the electoral process is very, very vital. However, you could bear me witness that the voters registration is still ongoing, and collection of voters TVC some people are yet to receive. So when all those details is being collective and he has the data at hand, I think he will come and brief the public how far we have gone in that regard.
And what happens to the situation where parliamentarians or people, residents of Akwa Ibom State, go to the respective INEC offices and stay for 1 week and cannot be able to register due to lack of personnel or inadequate personnel and machines from INEC? Is that also something that is worth addressing?
Yes, such a thing is worrisome because you could see Mark Guinea, as I said, has prop up the consciousness of Akwa Ibomites. That is why you could see the influx of Akwa Ibomites going to register, going to collect, going to do 1 or 2 things with INEC. So that is what you are seeing playing out. So Mark Guinea has bring out the consciousness of Akwa Ibomites in regards to electoral process.
All right, thank you very much, parliamentarian, for joining us this morning. Let me come to you.
What the parliamentarian should understand is that we have less than 1% of Akwa Ibom population contesting election, and what is expected is that they have a way they meet with political parties. They have a way they meet with candidates. What we are saying is that this sort of education on legal issues should be things that they will call aspirants and educate them, because the ordinary man on the street is not running for the election. So what we're trying to say that at a point when we want voters education, like he has said, that's no voters education. Those are confrontations. Those are fights. Because when you see reactions coming for those things, what we want at this point is people being told how to vote, people being educated about the new electoral act as it concerns voters. Not voters education is for voters. It has nothing to do with politicians, aspirants and candidates and all the confrontation or going to a point of deciding what the judge will do or what should be expected from the courts. Those are legal issues, and legal issues should be in the courts.
Mr. Speaker, the last caller is my friend. I don't know what he means by attacking Mike Igini. We are just saying that Mike Igini is a lawyer. He should not become a law by itself. Like now, someone just raised and you just asked him a question. There are some pertinent issues that, like now, it's the office that is holding that he should be concentrating on, not some other issues. So nobody's attacking him. Then I don't know whether I can react with some comment that people just asked concerning the first issue that we just brought.
Yes, we'll get to that. But let's talk to some more parliamentarians. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker.
Good morning, parliamentarian.
Abraham speaking from you.
Go ahead, the floor is yours.
I think the people who that comes to that Tini was a friend trying to do his work by them. I think people don't understand when they should play politics with their politics. He's doing his work. He's not looking for a position among the politics. I don't know why people don't understand that the simple thing. On the primary school retirees, I think we should all come to this realization that we as individuals ought to know that we need us to become great. Not every time complaining. If we see a government that tries to see what it can do to put things in order, we should try to support him. Not trying to belong, not until he belongs to any political group. The present government has tried. He has introduced the Akada, which up till now, I'm not even sure 5% of that will understand what's being like that. That is wholly returning us back to our creator, which has said his name. But people don't really understand. By the time you do your will, you as a dad or a concerned person with regard to can produce funds, and any other person in that family can produce funds to solve the problem that is going on, that is affecting almost everybody. Not only complaining, going on strike. No, that's not what our particular area is all about. All
right, thank you very much, parliamentarian. We appreciate you joining us this morning.
God bless you.
Thank you very much. And Parliamentarian Prophet Aniabiat Abasi says, good morning, Mr. Speaker. My name is Aniabiat Abasi from Ini local government area. Please let us be sincere to ourselves. His Excellency's approval of primary school teachers retirees gratuity and other incentives is a political jeopardization and is an audio pronouncement. Please let him pay the retirees and not play politics with his. Thanks. And Parliamentarian Ituro Frank, good morning. Says People's Parliament, Mr. Speaker, His Excellency Deacon Udom Gabriel Emmanuel is a God blessing to Akwa Ibom State. He is indeed a servant leader and he will leave a lasting legacy behind. That is why I'm supporting his completion agenda, because that dot will probably be connected. Yes, Mike Igini is saying the truth, because politicians, when once they test power, they really don't want others to grow. Parliamentarian AK President Solomon says there is a pastor that is always calling to preach. It's a good thing, but I have not heard him telling the governor to pay retirees. We should be practical with our Christianity. Parliamentarian Yes Sam sending another. Okay, this parliamentarian seems to be a troublemaker this time around. He's calling me Frank Edit. Mike Igini is saying those who engage into double form purchase are likable to 2 years imprisonment. I completely fault Mike Igini. He's not a constitutional lawyer. Let Mike Igini go back and read very well with understanding section 105 subsection 2 of the Constitution. I want to ask, I wish you would call in a yes sir question. Let me ask you if you're a lawyer and to give credence to the fact that you understand the Electoral Act more than every other person. And I'll take an exception that Didi Martins has the right to call me Mr. Francis Edet, and you also have the right to call me Mr. Francis Edet outside the People's Parliament. But once we come to the People's Parliament, it is Mr. Speaker first and foremost. I'd like to understand that you take that as a correction. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the People's Parliament.
Hello, good morning, People's Parliament.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker. This is Godwin from the Apple and Collector. On my last note, still on education, please. I want to humbly beg the federal government of Nigeria to kindly find a way of ending the long-term strike with ASUU. Let them find a way of ending it once and for all, so that our people will go back to school. And to Akwa Ibom State Governor, and even Akwa Ibom State Governor and the governor as a whole, let him pay the necessary gratuity to primary school, retired primary school teachers, so that this state will be in peace, so that our people, our children, will still develop interest on education. Thank you. That's right. I still remain Godwin from Viakura.
Thank you very much, Godwin, for calling back. And Parliamentarian Rosemary says, good morning, Mr. Speaker. The president order is quite funny. Is that an irony, or is he mocking ASUU and Nigerian undergraduates? Until the 2 weeks elapses, but for now, I reserve my comment. Governor Adamu administration is unconcerned about the welfare of the citizens. Will his successor tread the same path of this incumbent governor? 2023 will speak. Parliamentarian Prince and your candidate says, Mr. Speaker, is there any modalities the state government has set in place for further disbursement of funds for these retirees? If no, it should do so to alleviate their suffering. And the last comment, Parliamentarian Ime Peter Edet says, good morning, Mr. Speaker and the guests in the studio. First and foremost, I want to applaud Her Excellency for approving the payment of the retired primary school teachers. I want to plead with our governor to keep on to his good work. Let him not play politics on it. Our president and his cabinet are playing with our future students just because their children are schooling abroad. This is not fair. God is watching us. I remain Parliamentarian Ime Peter. Thank you very much, Parliamentarian Ime Peter. And I'll take just one call before coming back to the House. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the People's Parliament.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker.
Good morning.
To all the parliamentarians.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
My name is Talent. I come from Uyo. Mr. Speaker, I want to say that the approved money for the primary school retirees is not enough. I want to ask my governor, His Excellency Governor Adamu, to do the needful, to take care of to handle the welfare of the citizens in a good way, because you need to do account to the people and God Almighty. When you say over, how many years did you pay? You are going out. The government will pay you all your gratuity. Your every payment will be returned to you. So you need to, as a governor, as a government, you need to pay the gratuity and what belongs to the citizen. That's my take.
All right, thank you very much, Parliamentarian. Some more comments just dropping. I'll quickly take that. Parliamentarian Liuku Umeke says, the People's Parliament, Mr. Speaker. Good morning to the guests in the studio. The clearing of government promise of paying gratuity and pension, the word says a worker deserves his wages. Giving people what belongs to them does not attract commendation. Of course, it is their right. Great Fela Kuti in one of his songs says, human right is our property. You cannot dash me human right, so there is nothing to clap about because the money is our money, not your private money. So that one no be dash. Parliamentarian Victor Paul Udo says, good morning, Parliamentarian. Quite a very lengthy post here. I'm sorry we will have to skip this very one. It's too long. We cannot take that. Parliamentarian Uzo Francis Namani says, I am Uzo Namani watching live from Amakunza in Enugu State. Good morning, Mr. Speaker. Mr. President giving Education Minister 2 weeks ultimatum to resolve ASUU strike is a welcome development, but I'm urging him to use his veto power as the President and Commander of in chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to settle ASUU strike amicably, well, for the betterment of this country. May God help us. Uzo Francis from Amakunza in Enugu State. Parliamentarian Ayor Israel says, good morning, the People's Parliament. I commend the Akwa Ibom State Governor on the approved payment of gratuity to retired primary school teachers in the state. God bless our able governor. Parliamentarian Ime Peter, good morning, Mr. Speaker, and the guests in the studio. First and foremost, I want to applaud Her Excellency for approving the payment of the retired primary school teachers. I want to plead with our governor to keep to his word. Let him not play politics. Thank you very much for all of the comments that have come in.